Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is a new Salem by night scene, not Salem, with the sheriff and the Giovanni. Allison is running around getting dancer girls in position for the evening of festivities and just has a line of lovely men at the door, and she's mumbling about, please don't let there be any potential collection members here, before turning to Lucius and saying, Sierra cara cugina fatemelo fiesta in peace.
What the fuck did you just say? Is Angelo been giving you Italian lessons again? What is this? I assume it was something affectionate though. Sorry, my dear, I've got a bit of a short temper.
Just shaking
Lucius
her
closes the book.
head, she goes, darling cousin, hello, please let me party in peace.
Party in peace. Party in peace. In peace. Here. This isn't peaceful, Alison. This environment, it's beautiful. It's wonderful. It's pristine. It's glorious, and we offer nothing but the finest of hospitality here. But peaceful, no. You won't find peace here. At least not in the basement, as you know all too well.
At the mention of the basement, she kind of bites her lip and nervously looks up at the ceiling and starts wiping her hands off with a napkin again before putting it back in her bag.
You'll notice where Lucius is sitting, on the table in front of him is a sawn-off shotgun. There's a couple of bags of coke by the seating next to him. There's also some bloodstains, or what at least you presume to be bloodstains on the table. They haven't quite been scrubbed off yet.
Hold on a moment. We're going to have to make a check. Which you can come in anytime, Jake. It's a bar. It's not like anybody would stop you from coming in.
Yeah, I'll come in a minute.
Okay.
I'm the goddamn sheriff. I come in when I fucking want to come in.
Okay. Whatever floats your boat, dude.
While you're doing your check, you'll just
Perception.
notice that Lucius has dug right back into his book and is pretty much just ignoring you for the time being. He's
Alright, I am
seems to
rolling
be
a
quite
perception check on the room.
okay.
I'm sniffing around, basically looking at everything. Do I smell
Mhm.
gunpowder? What is the blood fresh? Is it human blood? Is it kindred blood?
The blood is not fresh, in fact, far from it. It is human blood. Um, the room appears quite clean, aside from the table, which is still, well, it's just got congealed blood on some of the table. You can see that there's sort of wipe marks on it, like someone's had a good go at it, maybe Slade's tried to wash it down and then just given up. You'll notice the bar, there's quite a few empty glasses there, and Slade, maybe he's out back or something, but you can't see him at the moment.
At this
Some of the
point,
dancer girls look a little bit unnerved, more unnerved than usual. But Lucius is just sat there calmly reading his book.
at this point, she's gone behind Lucius. She's wrapped her arms around him like a hug embrace and has laid her head on his shoulder facing towards his ear and just blows lightly. What did you do, cousin?
Don't. Oh, when you're talking that tone, you sound like my mother. Nothing, Alison. There were a couple of new faces in the city around here earlier, but no, just some odd-looking fellow at the bar. Nothing's happened. What do you mean? What have I done? I haven't done anything. He's not even lying, so I'm not going to roll lie. He looks tired though. He does look tired.
She kind of hugs you a little, kisses your cheek, and she goes, you should rest more, cousin. You're getting old. And walks out towards the front room where the dancers and such are.
I guess at that point, since I have found my character sheet, I will, another incredibly good-looking appearance for Italian man who is not a Giovanni. um, kind of like stumbles in the front door, and then kind of cracks his back and his neck and straightens his shit out, and begins to like swaggerly walk up to where the dancers are dancing, and he's just kind of like staring there for a minute, and I guess he'll just, if anyone offers him a drink, he'll just wave them away, and like he's wiping his face a lot and itching his nose.
Allison's just kind of stops, stares at him for a minute, and she goes, cousin, I found a pretty new piece. I want him.
Hmm? What? Ugh, another interruption. What's the matter, Alison?
Yeah, she stops. She's just standing in the doorway.
What?
I'm gonna turn around and like just kind of lean against whatever I'm leaning against, but now facing out into the room, and I'm gonna do a little aura perception of the room and see what's going on with that.
Okay, you can try. I love describing her aura to people.
Let me roll some dice here. I think it's difficulty 8, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nope, I don't get any successes. I'm too fucked up. He's
Actually,
like,
wait.
well, I'll be. The entire fucking place is full of werewolves.
I was about to say, depending on what drug you are, it might make it easier to detect aura.
I'm on scotch and heroin. I don't think so.
Uh,
I think it's a considerable bit harder.
who knows? Lucius has had some lovely trips on heroin because of me. Um, at this point, Allison's going to kind of make her way over to the bar. She's actually not in a business suit. She's just in a plain white sundress, spaghetti strap, and motion Slade to keep the drinks coming, as many as the new guy wants, and put something a little stronger in them than what he orders.
I told you already, guy. I don't fucking want anything. Stop asking me.
Slade doesn't ask. He just sits the bottles on the table, points at the girl, and walks off.
All right, for later. And he pokes them. He like puts them into his jacket.
In the back of Lucius's mind, though, he's probably thinking of what the hell Allison could have meant by "I want him for my collection."
I have to pass these bottles through my hoe filter first.
Slade gives him a curious look, like he's completely confused, shrugs, and then almost 8 foot tall guy walks back behind the bar, standing across from the girl that's sitting at it.
Louis gonna like nod over at the chick and then point at the bottles in his thing and give her a wink and a thumbs up.
Okay, let's roll courage. Ow. Yeah, Allison just ducks her head back down, kind of staring at the bar.
You still got it.
And then is gonna send the milliner dancer girl to Lucius to distract him so Allie can get away with whatever it is she wants to get away with.
As the girl approaches Lucius and wraps her arm around his shoulders, he sort of looks up for a moment. Oh, hello, darling.
Sorry, brother, the lady wants you completely distracted for the evening. I think she may plan to kill or fuck the guy up there. I'm not really sure.
Well, surely, my dear, if she wants me distracted, the best thing to do would not to tell you to tell me that she wants me distracted.
Personally, the guy's pretty, and I don't want to see any more pretty people fall to our cousin.
Before even replying to the girl, Lucius just stands to his feet and begins walking towards Alison. Sort of brushes the girl off.
Alice is just sitting at the bar, chewing on a couple of figures, just kind of watching the guy. She's not looking at him straight. She's kind of watching him out of the corner of the eye. You wouldn't really even notice unless you were right by her where her eyes were.
If you're staring at me for a mad long time, I'm just gonna let you know I don't have any fangs.
Okay. That was a perception empathy check to see like what's going on with Alison. What's the dealio? Obviously I botched it. So
you
Lucius is
you
just
can
gonna.
tell she's attracted to the guy. You just can't tell if it's in a good way, a bad way, or a Giovanni way.
Lucius just kind of walks up to you. Rather just he doesn't have much spring in his step. He's just very neutral when he's walking towards you. Just a blank expression on his face, and he just taps you on the shoulder.
She looks up
Alison,
at him.
dear,
Yes, cousin.
if you want me distracted, perhaps pick someone with a little bit more intelligence next time.
You know how you milliners are. I figured you liked your sister and birth cousins.
Right, self-control, you just did it.
I know.
You're lucky I got 3 successes there, because he was going to pimp
You're
slap the shit
probably
out of you.
used to Allison by now, because you can even tell with her smirk, she's just picking on you.
Yeah, but he's had a bad day. Well, he's had a
Oh,
long day.
she touches your cheek like a lovingly, more like a class friend or a girlfriend would than a cousin. She goes, "Don't worry, cousin. I'm gonna behave for a while."
Lucius actually, like, with both of his hands, like how a grandma would pinch your cheeks and just go, "Oh, look how you've grown!" Like he grabs your cheeks and just squeezes them, and he looks at you. What
You're
am I gonna do with you, Alison? Honestly, and he plants a
Oh,
sarcastic.
you're so lucky.
You can smell the sarcasm in the air as he just plants a kiss on your forehead, and
And Louie's, of
backs
course,
off.
seeing the girl that just bought him a bunch of drinks. This happening to her. She just kind of swats him off. She goes, "Now stop, I'm hunting." She whispers to Lucius. He goes back to watching the guy.
He's gonna like look up and see that you're still staring at him and kind of come over. Yo, Louis Biscotti, nice to meet you.
As she goes to shake your hand, you see she's got multiple rings on. One has a weird glow, one's like ice blue, and then there's one that's the Giovanni skull symbol and that she had custom made. Nice to meet you. I'm Alison Dunsirn.
Oh, right, Giovanni, cool. That's actually
Okay.
that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I need to talk to you anyway. I've been meaning to talk to you guys. Hey, he turns to the other guy. Hi, Louis Biscotti. Nice to meet you.
Her
Pleasure to meet
face
you,
goes from
Lucius Milliner, and
yeah,
he'll shake your hand very firmly.
her
You'll
face
notice he
goes.
has 2 rings on his finger, one with the Giovanni clan emblem, and another with a very strange-looking jewel on it, which was a gift from Africa, of all places. He's dressed very sharply, short black hair, brown eyes. Doesn't look very remarkable, but not the ugliest fucker in the bunch.
Right. I like this guy. He knows how to dress. And he like gives you a little tap on the shoulder. Oh, sorry. Brushes it off. My bad.
Yeah, Allison's gone from looking like a happy, giddy little schoolgirl with a puppy crush to just plain-faced, all business. Fuck, every time! First a gangrel and now this mother just goes behind the bar and grabs a bottle and starts chugging it.
Alison, would you be so kind to fetch our dear friend here a proper drink? And he raises an eyebrow, noticing that the man recognised the Giovanni family ties. He assumes he's kindred.
She looks at the new guy and she goes, then turns to Lucius and goes, "Why don't you take him to the VIP back office and I'll bring us proper drinks."
Very well. Lucius sort of looks you up and down, just whispers to himself, "Oh, I kind of like the cut of this guy," and he sort of ushers you towards the VIP area, picking up his shotgun
The
along the way.
milliner dancer girl, without even thinking, runs up and hugs you, Lucius, and says, "Thank you so much for saving the man from Allie," and runs out.
Lucius will just chuckle to himself as he walks by the rounded table at which he was sat, picking up his sawn-off shotgun off the table, leaving his book, not even checking to see if the man is actually following him or not, and walking slowly towards the VIP room.
Are we gonna need to shoot our way there? I mean, I don't have a problem, but like, do we gotta shoot our way to this back room? Is it guarded by a tiger?
The only
Allison's
tiger
rejoined
that'll
all.
be in there is Alison, and she's out by the bar at the moment. But no, it should be safe enough. I like my shiny
Are you
things.
taking him to the actual office or down to the cellar where we take all the kindred?
Oh no, he's not going to the cellar.
Okay. I was gonna say if you take him down to the cellar, you probably would see Allison's new collection down there of pretty little trinkets.
Oh God, Alison, what have you got down there? But yeah, so the two are walking towards the VIP section, I'm guessing, and
Which
Alison,
would
what are
just
you
be
doing?
Rodrigo's old hidden office
Yes, Rodrigo.
with the
Um,
ash scattered about it.
mhm. So Lucius, as he gets to the door, will open it for you and just sort of hold it. Um, and he nods, but doesn't say anything.
Right. Okay. Just make sure you don't bring any tigers in here, because I've had a hell of a day.
Same here, friend. And he'll walk in behind you once you've gone through, as the door sort of closes too. Please pull up a chair, and you'll notice there's a good couple of chairs in there, about 4 or 5, sort of office style executive leather chairs. And Lucius will prop himself up on the one behind the desk and just sort of kick his feet up on the table.
Right. Grazie. He sits down in the chair.
At this point, Allison's returned with some glasses and bottles of latte. She's kind of grumbling about how life isn't fair, but stops and flashes them both a very proper smile. For a Giovanni, it's very creepy. On a normal human girl, you just see a all business kind of girl before she sits the bottles down.
So
Right.
Alison, how have you been entertaining yourselves these nights? I haven't seen much of you. At this point, you can see Lucius is very, very, very casual. He's got both of his hands up behind his back. It's not usual behaviour for him, but so it might
Fuck
strike you as
me.
odd, Alison.
Blood bond. At this point, Allison's just moved and plopped herself into Lucius's lap and kind of laid her head like a little girl would on his shoulder. She goes, Everything's been all right. I've got my new house set up, but I mean, since what happened to Father, I guess I can go home."
What do you mean?
Um,
What happened to Father?
you know what happened to my father.
What happened to your father?
He's gone on a trip.
Oh, okay, like a Giovanni trip. I gotcha.
Something like that.
Anyway, I don't mean to interrupt or anything, but I do, I noticed you're very businesslike, I noticed that, right? And like that's why I came here, cause just to cut to the chase here, I was fucking anyway, Louis Biscotti again, Clan Malkavian, Sheriff of New Sarum. I just wanted to make sure that I came personally down here, talk to you, Giovanni, make
Hold
sure
on.
we're all on good terms here because I like you guys and I don't like the Ravnos and I would rather fucking deal with you than them.
Allison has actually moved up and grabbed your hand, and she goes, "You're Malkavian. I love the Malkavians.
I don't.
Some
They're
some
fucking
of my
assholes.
best friends were Malkavian."
Mm.
Alison, dear, tone it down. Men are
You,
talking.
you can. Oh no. Hold on.
Yep.
At this point, you see her raise her hand and start grabbing something out of her bag, and she just stops. She goes, "Yes, cousin," and sits down.
Ah, Sheriff of New Sarum.
Right? Ain't that some shit?
Yeah, it's good to finally meet a man who looks the part, and he sort of eyes you up and down.
I was a little surprised myself, but I mean, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like we can make this work. And, Italians, you guys, I like you guys. I like the Italians, most of them, you know. You guys seem pretty Italian, so, I figured I'd come down, say hello, and, let you know if you need anything, come talk to me, and I hope that I can say the same for you guys.
Exactly.
Yeah,
We've always had a working relationship with the Camarilla in the city, and I see no reason for that to change, especially now a man of your stature is, well, in a seat of power. But yeah, please, make yourself at home here. The casket is always open for new enterprising individuals such as yourself. And if you would ever need assistance with anything that would involve the Giovanni, please direct yourself towards either myself or my good friend and Uncle Isaac Milliner. And Lucius will pull out a business card from inside his suit jacket pocket and hand it to you. And on it, it will say Lucius Milliner, Milliner Law, and then a phone number.
Right. All right. He takes that and he puts it into his little like what do you call it? You ever see American Psycho? That little business card case. Puts it in that.
yeah.
Oh
little
yeah.
business
Uh,
card case.
At this
Sticks it back in
point,
his pocket. Right on.
Allison's kind of leaned back in her chair and she's kind of looking at him. She goes, "May I ask a question of you, Mr. Louis?
Oh yeah. Whatever you need.
Why do you not get along with the Rovnos? I mean, they have their quirks. I'm just wondering."
Oh, I mean, like, I don't know. I never actually had a fight with them, but, you know, they're an entire clan of backstabbing Jippo thieves. And apparently one of them's fucking up the city, and that means that's, you know, yesterday that wasn't my problem, and now today it's my fucking problem. So I don't want to, you know, fuck those guys.
I've only met one of them I get along, and he does work for us. As long as I give him a hug now and then, he's pretty well behaved.
Said nobody?
Yeah, he's a good
Yeah.
little boy.
I met that guy. Yeah, little boy. Good description. God damn, what is in this?
Virgins. She says that as he takes a drink.
That's why it tastes so unfamiliar. They're really fucking hard to come by these days, you know. I run the whorehouse, Madame Kame's Filipino Palace down in Chinatown. Anytime, you know, as long as you
Ow. Yeah, Allison's turned kind of blood red and is just looking away, and she goes, "Yep, I hear that's a profitable business."
yeah, it is. It's pretty great, let me tell you. You know, a lot of those girls, they're so glad to even be here.
My girls are a little more hidden away than yours, I guess we could say.
I mean, that's why you're probably not making a lot of profit. You can't really hide your horse.
That's not my business, Mr. Louis. I'm a financial advisor and loan expert.
Oh, I see. I met one of those types. Eli Rothstein in New York. Perhaps you've heard of him? I don't know. He's a fucking prick.
He can be, yeah. Lucius, out of character, would know it's just a distant Jewish Giovanni. He's never met him.
I fucking
Yeah,
hate
I
him.
know. Lucius doesn't make that.
Oh man.
Um,
All right. Find my sentence.
at this point, though, she looks at Lucius and she goes, "Yes, but Angelo demands that I learn Italian since it's a family heritage, and says I will not be considered proper family till I learn it." And then he said
Well, you
something
see-
about learning the proper taste of Italian, and I got out of the car.
Sounds a little bit suspect to me, but you seem to be doing all right with your Italian. I mean, I don't really speak it except for a few. Well, when I want to be discreet about who I'm swearing at, then I'll break out the Italian. But
Oh,
you
I
know.
don't swear. I'm a lady, cousin. I do much worse than swear.
I like her again.
Oh, Alison does have her quirks, as do we all, I'm sure. But yes, if you're ever in need of our particular set of skills, as I said, myself or Isaac will be more than happy to assist the Sheriff of New Sarah.
Much appreciated. And of course, you know, if you got any problems, bring them to me or my buddy Jonathan, that gangrel guy.
Jonathan. Ah, yes. He was in here earlier, actually.
Oh, huh. He's been partying all day then.
Something like that. And you mentioned something about Aravnos causing trouble.
Yeah, actually, that just came across my desk quite literally before when fucking Jonathan came to see me. He's saying that this guy, he's just like full on breaching the goddamn masquerade, and I'm surprised I haven't heard of this because I mean I got feelers out in the city, but dude's just fucking going around slinging around chemistry willy nilly like he's the fucking prince of the city or something. Not even a care in the world. I know you guys aren't Camarilla affiliates, but we can't be having all the kind walking around
No.
knowing that there's fucking vampires in the city or magic men or whatever. It's not good for business.
Exactly.
No.
And
What?
it's
What? Who's this
it's
Ravnos? Allison says.
He doesn't. I don't think Jonathan knew his name. He didn't really tell me his name, but apparently he's just been like abducted children, and I mean, that's no good because that's always going to produce an investigation.
Out of character, I can't tell through your accent. Did you just say he was abducting children?
I did.
yes.
Hold on. Code of honor.
It's funny you should mention it as well. Just earlier today, this was brought to my attention. There was also a ghoul sniffing around in here, asking questions.
Interesting.
Along the same lines, a ghoul of a man known as Joseph Swingy.
I don't know that guy.
Well, apparently this Joseph, is currently in torpor, but he still has his ghouls running around, asking questions about this individual who can apparently change the colour of his skin at will, and has been abducting children and making lots of cats appear or something to that
Same guy.
effect.
Same guy.
Same
We're talking
guy.
about the same guy. This guy is fucking making cats and forming them into one big cat, and I don't even know. It doesn't even make sense. Like, that doesn't even help you hunt. Like, all it does is draw attention. Like, what the fuck is this guy trying to do? Like, sow the seeds of dissent and bring down the fucking masquerade? This is some bullshit, man. I did not want to have to deal with this.
At this point, Allison is actually shaking violently, and her hand is blood-soaked. You can tell she shattered her glass and is just clenching it, and the air around her has dropped significantly.
Louis takes off his tie and, like, hands it to her. Your hand there. Here you go.
Yeah, sorry, I failed a self-control roll for Code of Honor. She goes, cousin, I will be working with directly with Mr. Louis for the next couple of days.
Remember the
very
oath of
much.
Omerta, Alison. Don't make any promises you can't keep.
Exactly. You don't have to. I'm not asking you to like have any direct involvement in anything. It's not your business. You're not even. It's okay. But if you come across any information, I would be willing to make it worth your while to fucking tell me.
She
I
takes
don't
a
know
deep
what
breath.
running around the streets shooting ghosts at people or whatever it is you guys do.
She's giving Lucius that look. Lucius, with the blood bond, you would know about her code of honor to protect women and children.
Lucius looks at you and sees this passion and fire and anger in your eyes, this hatred burning. He'll just lean slightly back in his chair, licks his lips. If this is truly what you want, Alison, then by all means, assist the sheriff.
Thank
I
you.
can't be dealing with you if you don't have a level head.
She nods. I'm the
And
coolest out of all of us. The white lady never fells.
obviously, Mr. Millionaire, this is a personal offer between Allison and myself. This has nothing to do with you or yours. I'm not going to hold you to anything. Obviously, there's nothing to hold you to.
Of course, Mr. Biscotti, or do you prefer Louis?
I don't fucking care. Mr. Biscotti's my father, but I mean, technically, it's also me, so I mean, you can call me whatever you want, as long as it ain't late for dinner. That's a joke from way back there. It sounds better in Italian.
Well then, Louis, if I stumble upon anything, as I am, well, consider my interest piqued in this matter.
Okay,
If I
that's
do
better.
stumble upon anything, I will be sure to let you know.
As
That'd
they're
be
talking, she
appreciated.
started pulling glass out of her hand, and she's wrapping it with part of her dress she's ripped off and hands Louis his tie back. I would not dare. At this point, you can see there is a pistol strapped to her leg where this part of the skirt was covering.
That's a nice piece that you got there.
Thank you. You can also see embedded on it, somebody's printed down it, carved style, ice bitch.
Ice bitch.
It was father's nickname for me when I was a little girl.
Oh, that's nice.
What a pleasant way to talk to your daughter, child.
Mhm.
Semantics.
Yeah, you've noticed all of it's gone. She's gone back to just looking like a porcelain doll, completely empty.
You know, I was a little bit nervous coming down here, and I'm glad that you guys were able to put my, my concerns to rest. Obviously, you're not to be trifled with, but now I know I can at least come down here and try to talk some business without having to worry about, I don't know, like you ripping my soul out of my mouth or whatever. You know?
Hold on. I'm
I
not even gonna make
prefer
a
to
roll for that.
calm
You have
down
Allison
container.
giggling, and she goes, "Did Reb and Iris tell you nothing about me?"
No, they didn't. Oh man, Reb, God bless his soul, and he like crosses himself.
She stops and she goes, "What happened to Reb?"
Reb's dead, Alison.
Uh, yeah,
Hold on.
in case you didn't know that, we got a new prince and everything, a whole little like regime change.
You see her pick up the bottle, take a couple of chugs up out of it, pour a little on the table, and then just slam the bottle across the room against the wall and just sit back down.
That's what I said.
Iris and Reb
Lucius
have been my
will
friends
actually.
since I was human, she says to Louis.
Yeah, Reb was my. Uh, I don't know if I was his friend, but he was certainly mine.
Lucius will actually stand up from his seat from behind the desk and place a hand on Alison's shoulder. It doesn't feel warm or comforting. It feels cold and well almost malevolent, but the thought is there nonetheless.
She just lays her head against his hand and goes, "Thank you, cousin."
No need to thank me, Alison. But
Of
yes, Reb.
course, I have other ways to thank you. I'll bring you something pretty later.
I apologize. I didn't mean to come down here and get you mad. I'm sorry, Alice.
She looks at Louis, and it's a very cold, empty smile, and she goes, "It's not your fault. Life cannot be controlled by the whims of even us fully. If you die, you die. If you live, you live. It's all part of the cycle."
That's a
And
good way to think.
Alison, if it brings you any comfort, I heard earlier today that they got the bastard that, you know.
It brings me a little comfort. I personally would have rather played with him some before they caught him.
True. But fate has a funny way of working.
Mm-hmm.
Who caught him? Do you know?
I'm not sure, but someone mentioned it in passing earlier today that the guy who killed Reb, Lucius, as he sort of blurts those words out, it looks like he has like a bad taste in his mouth. It looks like the guy who did him in got what was coming to him.
So he's dead. They killed him, or can I go pay him a personal visit? You think?
They weren't too specific on exactly what had happened to him, but I know some of the old the Camarilla type still was on.
Right. Well, I'll find out, and when I do, you guys, I'll let you know. You can come down and pay your respects, so to speak.
Lucius
Allison's actually
nods.
kind of leaned over and patted Louis on the shoulder, and she goes, "Thank you, dear Mr. Sheriff." You kind of see her mellowing out and going back to her normal self.
I mean, I was very surprised when they offered me the sheriffship, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna find that I'm not like the typical fucking Camarilla sheriff. I don't give a fuck who's dispatching the justice as long as it's dispatched hastily and properly. And I know that you guys, you could do that.
Allison has closed her eyes now, and she has a very at peaceful smile on her face and starts humming Beethoven.
Yeah, see, exactly, you creepy fuckers.
Lucius is quite the opposite. His face is a picture right now. He's laughing maniacally, and he's just got this massive grin, this malevolent, creepy grin just spread across his face. After hearing this compliment,
Louis is gonna start laughing too, and like it's gonna start out like a normal laugh, and it's just gonna rise to like a high-pitched Malkavian giggle with like the bulging eyes and everything.
Lucas just watches the spectacle, and just nods in agreement. Oh, that's two Malkavians I've met today. Five of whom I think.
That reminds me, has my darling Benjamin been around?
Who?
The Malkavian we had the incident on the Venetian with. She says she looks a little embarrassed.
Oh, the soldier.
Yes, that one.
Oh, I haven't seen him around. Shame, really. He was
Hmm.
an interesting character.
I mean, the last time I saw him, I took him out for dinner and tried to apologize for the incident, and
You mean, by incident, you mean slipping him cocaine in his blood?
I was trying to loosen it up.
That's kind of funny. I did the same thing to Jonathan today, except it was, oh man, it was a whole bunch of stuff. It was pretty great. He's a big guy. It's funny when big guys are wobbly.
Oh, yes. The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Oh yes.
At this point,
My girl's
Slade
walking
was
out of the door.
yeah, when you say that, Slade was walking by bringing more bottles. He kind of gives you a stern look and walks out.
Who the fuck is that guy?
That's my babysitter.
Is he important? I don't like those fucking looks.
Well, maybe you should have a word with him, Alison.
He's been with the family longer than any of us have been around, probably.
Oh, alright, so he's kind of important. Well, tell him I think he's a prick anyway.
He's mute, dear. Sorry if he offended you in some way.
I don't care if he's mute. He's not deaf. Tell him I think he's a fucking prick. Please.
Hold on. We're gonna check this first. Yeah, Allison just kind of gives you a weird look, and she goes, "Okay, fine. You asked politely."
Thank you very much. Much obliged.
I did tell cousin Isaac though we were having a get together, and him and Angelo said they were busy, so it's just us tonight, cousin.
Well, you know I always enjoy your company, and the company of our new friend here.
Okay, I'm making a small check. I'm trying to figure out something real quick. Perception. Allison is just looking at you. That was a 9, a 10, and a 4 for perception while looking at you, and she just smiles and mutters bullshit.
Is this audible to Lucius?
You can tell by how she's mouthing at you. She said bullshit, but it's not loud enough you would have really heard it, unless you have really high sense hearing.
Lucius leans over very, very close to your face, like this close.
She's kind of
Looks you
arching to
dead in
get
the
back.
Looks you dead in the eye and says, "Kneel."
Are you trying to dominate me?
Uh-oh.
I'm a higher
Can't resist.
than
Level
you.
3 blood bond. You can't resist.
Asshole! You see her try to resist. She grabs the pillow and then she falls to her knees in front of you. And she is muttering, "Motherfucking asshole, I will rape your corpse as you fall."
Oh, Jesus Christ. Louis gonna take the bottle of, like, blood liquor and push his chair back against the wall and just kind of look on.
Always remember who's the boss here, Alison, shall we? And he hands you, he lends you a hand.
She looks at it. She kind of grumbles for a minute. You can't really make out what she's saying, and she just kind of grabbed your hand and jerks herself up. At that point, you also notice some mementos falling out of her dress. Her lovely blood-stained rusty switchblade.
Well,
As he,
Louis gonna celerity quickly pick that shit up for you.
Yeah, she holds her hand out to you and goes, "Can I have that back?" If you want to roll an aura on that, you probably could pick it up.
Yeah, I totally do. I'm gonna use the Spirit's Touch. Let me
Okay.
see what I gotta roll. Hold on one sec. Okay.
I'm giving him a chance to play with his new abilities, Luke.
of course.
I like that. Thank you.
You're welcome, because I've never seen you actually play a Malkavian before, so I know this is a good chance to give you time to get used to it.
Alright, so, yeah, I gotta roll Perception Empathy. Let's see. Alright.
You could probably spend a blood or a willpower to boost that also.
Yeah, I'll spend a willpower on it. 2 or 3 successes, depending on the difficulty.
You actually get flashes of memory between Allison arguing with someone faceless, them screaming at her she'll never be good enough, and then her taking memento to herself.
Oh, he quickly hands it over. I'm sorry about that.
She tucks it back down the front of her dress and she goes, "No problem." Kind of sits there. She's looking at Louis like he's just done something that is extremely offensive or grotesque.
Lucius will just look at Alison and raise an eyebrow and just shrug it off, just like rather nonchalantly, and just plonk himself down on a seat nearer to both of them, as opposed to behind the desk. He'll pick up one of the drinks that Slade brought into the room and just start sipping it quietly. He goes, "So, what do you do to keep yourself entertained these nights? You said you run the Filipino."
Oh, yeah,
Palace?
Madame Kame's Filipino Palace. It's the premier prostitution destination in all of Chinatown.
Allison's just blushing again, kind of mumbling, "Why is everyone so loose about sex?"
'Cause, like, we're Italians, baby.
Lucius will just chuckle to himself, a vivid image of Angelo just sauntering around in a leopard print thong, just shoots through his mind. And he just goes, "Oh, so whereabouts in Chinatown? Just out of interest. I mean, you know, we've got a decent enough business here. You've got a palace."
Yeah, well, I mean, like, it's more of a pagoda. I'm pretty sure it used to be, like, a Chinese food restaurant, but now it's the whorehouse. And, I don't know, it was established back in the 20s, and I knew, you know, Madame Kamei, it's been passed down from, like, one Madame Kamei to the next for a couple of generations, and I knew the original Madame Kamei. She was pretty nice. She was not as smart as her granddaughter, though, and that's who I got working for me now. He writes down, like, an address on the back of some, like, disused business card from back in Sicily and hands it over. You know, come by anytime you want. I'm usually there, unless I'm out, you know, patrolling around.
Allison's taking the car. She's still pretty much, she's gone from being paler than ice and paper to an actual kind of pink tint to her. And she goes, if I need you, I will stop by. She's actually kind of stuttering some. "I think I'll probably bring a family member with me, though. I don't think this would be proper for me to go in alone."
You know what? Let me see that card. And he'll take it back and write down his cell phone number and hand it back. Why don't you just call? We'll find a place that's, you know, a little easier for you to stomach. and he'll write down the address and phone number on another one and give it to Lucius.
She nods, and she kind of looks at Lucius like, "Don't you dare bring it up."
Lucius exchanges a glance with Alison, just leans in very, very close to her, and just woof.
She turns even more red and goes, "We all have our faults," and goes across the room.
Just don't make the same mistake twice, sweetheart.
"Better than fucking my own kin," she says loud enough for him to hear.
Whoa, hey, whoa! You got company here. I don't want to hear you fucking air your dirty laundry. I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that.
At this point, she's smiling. It's a very defiant kind of smile, but at the same time, she knows she's not pushing Lucius far enough for him to raise a hand.
Christ Almighty!
I don't know if he's actually doing that. I'm just teasing him.
Lucius just raises both hands in like a, I don't know why she's even saying it kind of way.
Hey, buddy, listen. I mean, if you're into that kind of thing, I mean, I got some Asians down there. Might not be your kin, but like, they'll wear whatever you want.
I'm sure they'd call you daddy too.
Well, for the right price, I'm positive they will.
At this point, Allison's turned even more red, and she goes, No, I'm not even going to try to stay on some par with Lucius. You win this round.
And I mean, it's not exactly. I haven't really been using it for you guys. I mean, you guys as a kindred is like a sex thing. Like, if you're into, whatever kind of different substances you could put in the blood, and you don't want to drink out of, fucking bottles like you're some kind of like halfway between vampire. You can always come down. I'll lace up a hooker with whatever you want.
At this point, you see Allison kind of type something on her phone, and the milliner come in and kneel down on her knees in front of Allison, and she's just stroking the girl's hair, and she goes, "Your kin tastes so good, cousin."
Oh, I'm gonna roll self-control. You are a very, very lucky girl. Lucius looks at you with a very cold expression, as if you've just said something that you shouldn't have said.
She's just grinning. The girl kind of shrugs, and she's moved over to Louie and, offered her neck and go, "You want to taste too?"
I mean, he's gonna look up at Lucius. Yeah, but I mean, I'll ask your permission first. I mean, I would hope you do the same with mine.
Be my guest.
She looks at Lucius and she goes, "Why would you need his permission? I belong to Miss Dunsirn."
Oh, I don't know. You said he was like her kin or his. I don't know. Whatever. Shut the fuck up. He just grabs the girl by the back of the head and like bites into her neck for a minute. Oh, yeah, that's good. I haven't had that since. All right, sweetheart. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. Let me retcon that because I don't have any fangs. He's going to produce a syringe and some surgical tubing from his pocket, and then very slowly and deliberately put it into her neck and kind of juice box it for a couple of sips, and then he's gonna take it out and lick the wound. Yeah.
Allison's just looking very curiously at him. She goes, "I want to study him more now, cousin."
One moment, Alison. Tell me, Louis, do you have any girls that are into a bit of pain?
Hold on a moment. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I do. I do.
You see Allison kind of squirming now, and she's turned even more blood red. She goes, "Really?"
They're not the prettiest ones, but yeah, I got those. Don't you worry.
Right, it might be a little bit more pain than they're used to, though. And he taps on his canine.
Oh no, I understand. I'm I met you guys before. I mean, not specifically you guys, but you guys as in the family. I know how it goes.
Yeah.
They're very discreet. In fact, we have a room down in the basement, which is how do you say it? How should I put this? It's recording studio quality, if you know what I mean.
You have Allison grinning and biting her lip at the same time. She goes, I may just come play here.
Oh yeah, whenever you want, as long as you don't kill him, because like then I have an investigation on my hands, and I
Never
can't really be
mind.
known as the sheriff who lets the Giovanni murder his fucking sex workers.
What if I bring my own?
Oh, then by all means, I got the space for it.
She's now just smiling at Lucius, and she goes, I love you, cousin.
Lucius will just stroke your hair for a moment and just savor the words you've just uttered, and he'll just turn to you and he'll just say, I know, dear, and just sort of gently push you away.
Louis is gonna give you one of these and like a weird little like squinty eye thing and be like, but none of that. We don't do that in my place. That's no. We have standards here. Keep that in your bar. Any kind of pain, come to mind, but none of that.
She's looking at Louis confused.
You, he knows what I'm talking about.
She looks at Lucius and, what's he talking about?
Oh dear Alison, he's just talking about when a puppy barks up the wrong tree, that's all.
She sighs. Are we ever going to drop this?
I don't know. Are you ever going to... And Lucius just stops for a moment and starts staring at the ceiling, searching for the words to complete the sentence with. He stays there for longer than normal. It becomes quite strange after a while. He's just sort of transfixed on the ceiling.
Louis gonna start like staring at the same spot on the ceiling that he's staring at really, really intently. I'm gonna activate heightened senses too.
I don't know. This is Rodrigo's old office, so anything that was here might still be here, or it got unbound. I don't know if it was bound to Rodrigo or items in the office. So
I can't see ghosts. I'm looking to see like what the fuck he's staring at.
After about a minute's worth of staring, Lucius will just look back down at Alison and just say, "Are you ever gonna clean that ceiling, Alison?"
she sighs and she goes, I'll clean it after our party leaves and we close.
I'm only joking, Alison. That's what we have, mortals and ghouls for. That's not work for a family member. I'm just teasing you. Come on now. Come on.
I forget you don't know what it's like to have Ewan as your cousin.
Ewan, yeah. How's that guy doing? I hear he's like kind of scary.
Allison's actually broke down in like a childish giggle.
As has Lucius. He's just laughing, not childishly, but it's very deep, maniacal laughter, which I will not do right now.
Ewan is only scary if angry. Having a couple of flashbacks to when she's pissed Ewan off. And other than that, he's a good man.
Alison, our dear Uncle Ewan doesn't get angry. Take it from me.
She looks at Lucius and she goes, yes, he does. Just plain voice, no emotion.
I'm going to roll self-control. 1 success. Lucius will just scratch the side of his head very intently, to the point where he'll actually begin to, you'll see certain parts of his face will just be ever so grazed by his nails. And he's just staring at you.
She just shakes her head.
While doing this. Alison. He doesn't get angry.
If that's what you say, cousin. At this point, she's taken her phone out and she goes, Mr. Louis, I have to leave. If you want me to walk you to your car, since it's not a safe neighborhood for Camarilla, I have no problem.
Not a safe neighborhood for Camarilla. You can escort him if he wishes, Alison. Let's not spill lies.
I really appreciate it and everything, but I'm pretty sure I'll be okay.
She nods. At this point, she has stood up. You can hear Beethoven somehow floating up to the office now. Someone's turned music from somewhere up, and she goes, I need to get back to work in the cellar. Can you bring me a change of clothes later, cousin?
Oh, of course.
At this point, she's actually leaned down and she's kissed Lucius right on the side of his neck. And she goes, it was nice meeting you, Mr. Louis. I guess I'll see you tomorrow evening.
Oh yeah, likewise, both of you. I appreciate the cooperation, and I think this might be the beginning of a beautiful relationship.
And
Exactly.
before she goes, she
Likewise.
whispers in Lucius's ear, maybe I should just give you that outfit you saw in my closet to use on one of his girls, and walks out. And if you
Lucius will look in a very strange, a very shoot Alison a very strange look as she leaves the room. And
if you don't remember, y'all all found
oh, I
that bondage
remember.
outfit when she got drunk.
I remember. um, he'll shoot you a very strange look as you leave the room, and then his eyes will focus back on Louis. He'll just say, likewise, I think this will be the start of something very beneficial for both of our families, shall
Hope
we say.
so. One of these days I'll introduce you to my dad, but for now, I gotta go. And he extends a hand.
Lucius will also extend his hand and shake very firmly and smile. A warm smile for once, nothing twisted behind it. Very
Here we
pure,
go.
honest
Look at those nice fangs.
smile.
As y'all get ready to go, you notice the door to the cellar is where the Beethoven was coming from, and it is switched from Beethoven to very hard screamo metal, and you can't tell, but there seems to be an underlying screaming tone.
Okay.
Is there like a coat check room on the way out?
Yeah, there's a small foyer that has a half wall between the actual bar area and the entrance.
Okay, well anywhere like that I can just go into real quick.
There's a small bathroom, men only,
Okay, that's
one at a
perfect.
time.
That's perfect. I will go in there. And since it's purely cinematic, I'm sure they don't care about a roll. Louis is gonna go in, and then a black man in a hat with a saxophone is going to emerge and walk out the door.
Beautiful.
Lucius, you can still hear the screamo music. Some of the girls look a little scared, and you can either join me in the cellar, or you can stay with the party, or you can leave like Louis is.
Lucius is gonna keep an ear out and just press it to the wall of the office quickly. He'll just start humming along with the song. Like,
Between the song, you can actually hear some people screaming with the music. And I guess with that, scene will end to Lucius getting his song on to people screaming to death.